Hi, this is Lisa.
And this is Chris and our first day of WoolWalk.
Woohoo! The first place we went to was Mother Knitter.
Hmm.
Right? It's a new store for us.
Yes, it's in Red Bank, and I really liked it. I
Yeah.
thought it was a bright, airy, open space, and I was really happy to finally get there because it's a store we talked about going to a lot, but
Yeah.
somehow we never actually made it.
Yeah.
One of the things that I liked, they had the yarns that they carried, they would have like a really big selection of colors in each yarn. And that's great because sometimes you have the experience where you're just kind of limited in your color choice,
Right.
and you're not going to have that problem at Mother
No,
Knitter.
they're the U.S. distributor for Sunday's Garn.
Oh, and I know another yarn that they showed me, Lamana,
Yes.
that they're also the distributor for that. So they had a lot of options. And then they had like the usual things, little trinkles and stitch markers and stuff. They had some hand dyed, but not a lot. They had mostly, I think, Malabrigo.
Yeah, and there was another brand that I hadn't really seen before, but I did like that they went deep with what they did have.
They also had some hedgehog fibers, which you'll
Yes.
see later in the video. But basically, these are just their wall displays where you just have like all the colors of all the yarns they carried. And what is it called? Sandus yarn?
Yeah.
They have, wool, they have alpaca, cotton, linen. So within that one brand, there were a lot of choices.
Oh, and you had liked these
I,
skirts.
I almost bought one of those skirts. I really did. So it's reclaimed sari fabric. And I couldn't find one that I was like really truly in love with, but I really just like this idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought they were very pretty. The short ones I think were $25 and the long ones were $35. Definitely something to keep in mind next time I go back there.
They had a nice selection of bags too. Just
Yeah,
different kind of
just
backpacks
canvas I
and
think
yeah.
too. And that was some of their Malabrigo yarn. And these are some of their other hand dyes. I be honest, I don't know what brands these are.
Yeah, me neither.
But they're pretty. It almost doesn't matter.
No, they were gorgeous. Then they had this sample rack.
So many
So many
sweaters.
samples.
So I don't know how much of this you left in because I went through literally every sweater on the rack, just giving like a brief glimpse. But from our time owning yarn store, I'm like, how'd they get all these samples? Because I
Yeah.
don't think they've even been open that long.
Yeah,
And
but
they had, I don't know if their store was in another location previously, but oh my gosh, they had so much. But they were really nice. And
they were such a lovely crew.
even as a crocheter, I appreciate knitted sweaters because they'll just give me ideas for things I might want to do, whether it's shapes or design features. That was their front window display. It was a little cherry blossom thing, and I just thought that was really pretty. I kind of want to go to Japan to see the cherry blossoms, but I kind of think maybe my allergies mean that's not a good idea.
No,
So having little paper cherry blossoms, or I
exactly.
think they were yarn actually, was a good compromise. This was a little pop up of pottery they were selling. And tell them how that works, Lisa.
That was so interesting, though. You just Venmo the artist the
And
the
take your
amount, and then take
pottery
your
and
pottery
go.
and
And I
go.
was like, maybe that works well in Europe.
This was some of the cotton.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. I got some. It was nice.
And that whole little table there, that's linen, but they had it in like three, I think, different weights.
Yes.
And then a lot of colors within each weight. So if you want linen, this might be your spot.
Yes. And they had a nice selection of books. Mostly Lina Publishing.
And then the Sandus Garn books.
Yes. And a little bit of Pom Pom Publishing. But a nice selection of stuff.
And the store was just so bright and open. I felt like you could see everything.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing felt cluttered. I feel like with a space that big, you might have the tendency to just stuff a lot in there.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that. So it was very, very comfortable.
Yes. So we're just giving you the tour of the shelves now. As you can see, every color, every shade. I had the choice.
Yeah.
The yarn I wanted it to be a neutral, and I had like the choice of 6 shades of
Like neutral
cream.
one or neutral two or neutral three.
And here we are.
That's Kelborn.
Yeah, that's Kelborn
That
Woolens.
perennial is a yarn I've been meaning to work with. I haven't yet, but it's just beautifully soft, wonderful stuff. So they had a few yarns from Kelborn. And I was actually wearing some Kelborn that day. I was wearing my Easy Ace skirt, and that was Kelborn and Dora. Now over here we get into the stuff that I ended up buying. It's actually a cotton modal blend, which is a blend I was curious about because the modal is supposed to still be breathable like cotton, but it's going to be a little bit lighter and not stretch as much.
Yeah.
And that's what I ended up buying.
And this little guy here scared us both.
Yeah. So one of the people at the store, this guy wove that and sewed it together. I don't understand the guts coming out of it, but the weaving is nice. And this little colorful blanket thing there, he also wove that. So he's very talented.
Oh yeah.
But that thing was scary.
And now the juicy stuff. This is their sale bin area.
Yeah.
They were selling these yarns in singles, in packs of 3 and packs of 5 and packs of 9 for one price. And the price was pretty good. I think the 3 packs were like $17.
It was rough. I didn't get any of that. I picked it up and I was like, whoo, no.
He actually said, woo, no.
But they had a nice selection of fibers too. Like
so there was some.
I think this one was the llama.
Yeah, there was some llama.
But you know, I like a sale bin, so
yeah,
I had to.
I have to at least look. Yeah. Let me tell you, that's my strategy for these stores. Look at the sale bin first, and then look around.
Yes. And do more like yarn bowls and pottery and things. And this is a German brand. I think they had said Lamana, and again, they're U.S. distributors for that yarn. So they sell it to other yarn stores as well as carrying it themselves.
And if you want yarn that are not necessarily all superwash merino, this is a spot for you to go to find all types of other fibers.
You want yarn that's not superwash merino. That's a big if.
But didn't we both buy yarn that wasn't superwash merino when we left? Yeah.
And that's some kits that they had. I actually like this lace and fade boxy.
Yeah, it's pretty. I think the lace lightens the feel of the boxy.
These were the people who worked there. They were lovely. They were actually really, really nice. One of them followed our YouTube channel right there on the spot. Oh my God. I was like, oh, she's going to see the goofiness. And so then we went to Ballsack Company, which is in Ocean Grove.
That's me and my dofuku headed in. Once again, just a light, bright space.
Some of their clearance yarn is back in this room. I don't know what the theme of this room is, actually. I haven't figured it out yet. They do have one shelf in there that's clearance, but then there's just like other stuff too.
And he has Noro. He has Habu. I ended up getting some Habu.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some of their silk too. This I think was Jade Sapphire, and it's like a cashmere and something else really nice.
Yeah.
Maybe cashmere and silk or something.
All the way in the back, he has his like luxury fibers. So you can look there, but check the clearance area first.
Wool Addicts too. But see this one shelf. See that's clearance corner.
Clearance corner.
So I always check back there.
Because you literally never know what's going to be in clearance corner. So it might be just a thicket.
This is just honestly, to some extent, I don't even care what yarns there are. They're just pretty to look at. I just like seeing all the colors.
Just everything all laid out like that, you know?
Yeah, I like being in yarny spaces. That's really just it.
Isn't that funny how for some people it's sensory overload, and for others it's like, yes, give it all to me.
It's overload for me in that I want all the stuff. I hate having to pick and choose. Let me tell you, don't let me have a real budget. And those are circular crochet kits. And this was Grace and Pearl. This was the last store we went to in Avon by the Sea. Technically, it's a different town, but
it's right there.
Yeah. It's 10 minutes away.
Back in the city, we would probably have walked that distance.
And this is some of her handbag. I know some of this is La Jolla. And that shawl was made with
those mini skein kits.
I would have loved one of the mini skeins. That wasn't on sale, but the color, mini skeins are hard because sometimes you don't like every color in the set. But that one, I like them all. And then she has other cute little things in there, like mugs and candles and
I see tea. Her place is a treat yourself kind of store.
Yeah, cozy vibes.
Yeah,
cozy vibes. This is like you could plan a whole little weekend for yourself. You get some yarn, you get tea, you get a nice mug, and you pick up a book, and you ready to chill that weekend. I'm not familiar with this brand though, Big Heart Tea.
No, me neither. And she, of course, has some, yarn related and craft related books, but she also carries a selection of novels. Yeah. I was so tempted by that Visible Mending book.
Why didn't you get it?
Because I had just bought the Sachiko book, and it's along the same line.
These are some of her kits. She has a lot of samples.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that she has a lot of knit collage samples, because I feel like you need samples to really sell knit collage.
Yeah, to really see it as something. Yeah. Because when I see the samples, I am tempted, although I don't like to work at that scale.
Same. So I think I would be more of a Loopy Mango person, which she also has.
Yes.
Because that's thick, but it's consistent. It's not a thick thin and doesn't have like the big lumps that knit collage sometimes has. And was this a sale table?
Yes.
Yeah, this is where I hung out.
Yeah, she collected all of her things that were on sale on a table in the middle of her store.
Yeah, she had a little bit shibui left, and the discount ranged from like I think 20 to 40% for most of the things on the table. But it was a nice selection too.
So if you had never bought shibui, because shibui, that's pricey stuff. This would have been a great time to try some shibui.
She had Trailhead yarns. So Trailhead does only non-wool yarns because the dyer has a wool allergy. And I have some of their cotton, and it's quite nice. And you worked with the tencel. I
made a top out of the tencel held together with Cotton Supreme. I love that thing.
But there was a bunch of nice, there was even some Noro on the sale table. Nice bits and bobs and odds and ends. But like you were definitely going to find something on the sale table, like for sure. And I did.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was day 1, and stay tuned for day 2.